Austin, right over here. The fourth down grab there on that final possession, you guys had really been struggling offensively. Kind of walk us through that play, what you saw there, and how big did you feel like that catch was to kind of get you guys going again and eventually get you on the end zone?
Yeah, I mean, just ran a little slant there. Will had a tight window. He put it where he needed to be. It was low. Honestly, I felt good about it. I got my gloves under it. You know, I want the ball to come me in those situations, so I was excited. You know, got the opportunity to do it, and heck, you know, on to the next.
Coach Leach was obviously upset with the lull on offense you guys had there from, you know, I think halfway through the second quarter through about, you know, that second to last drive in the fourth. I guess, what were maybe some of the struggles you guys had against that Auburn defense, and I guess how did you guys kind of get back into it late in the game?
Yeah, I mean, he was, but we were just as frustrated ourselves. You know, we hold ourselves to a high standard. That third quarter especially, it's not how we should play ball. You know, but they came out hot, a little chip on their shoulder, nothing to lose. You know, we got to come out hot out of halftime for sure. And that's on us as a team, as offense. We got to have the right mindset mentality, come out after half. You expect to march down the field. You know, they played well. I mean, they played hard, they played fast. You know, we got to execute better.
Austin, from your vantage point, what did you see on Mark's touchdown play? And was that the call at the line of scrimmage, or did you know it was going to be a run play?
Yeah, I knew it was a run, and I was honestly blocking. So, I mean, I'm on my guy. Next thing you know, I see him run up and then start celebrating.
Austin, it seemed when you guys had to have that drive late to go down and tie, the short passing game kind of seemed to open up for you guys. Justin, I thought it was especially good down the stretch. What was kind of the mindset there, and maybe how did you guys kind of adjust to how they were defending you?
Yeah, like I said, they were getting some pressure on us, so we get the ball out quick, find a way to adapt. We were confident in that part of the game. We felt we could march down doing that. So, you know, just let Will, you know, be really precise, accurate, and just make plays.
Austin, I know there were a lot of emotions in this game, but for Woody to kind of get that moment at the end, you know, to score in overtime and clinch kind of the dagger for you, how happy are you for him? Because, you know, both of you guys have been around this program for years.
That was awesome. Woody's definitely one of the hardest workers on this team. I mean, he just leaves it all out there on the field every single game. So I couldn't be more pumped for him to get that chance, you know, kind of finish the game, seal it all for us. I mean, great guy, great teammate, and no one else I want back there, so I was pumped for him.
With Auburn having an interim coach in Cadillac, do you think it kind of gave them a little bit more power today, a little bit of a different team than what we've been seeing lately?
For sure. I've been saying that all week. I mean, a team that has nothing to lose is dangerous. You know, they can let it rip, they can do trick plays, whatever it may be, come out and let it fly. And there wasn't really any expectations because of the situation they're in. So I always thought that was more of a dangerous team, and you can see that they played hard.
There was a few instances in this game where you guys either had turnovers in your own territory or things like that, and then obviously an overtime defense comes up, you know, holds them to a field goal attempt there. I guess just how big was it, you know, for you guys to have the defense kind of keep you in the game? You know, when Auburn was, you know, trying to make that run, it could have been a bigger lead for Auburn.
Absolutely. I mean, defense definitely saved us. They played a heck of a game. And guys were flying around to the ball. Yeah, I was proud of them. They really helped us out. You know, like I said, we had other phases. You know, we didn't execute the standard we want to hold ourselves at. And the defense, you know, they stepped up, made big plays for us, kept it close, kept it tight. You know, especially in you know, overtime, that was huge for us. And that's why it's team games. Great team game. It's awesome to have. It's cool to see, you know, different parts rise at the right time.
And Austin, just what was the team's mindset once you all went into overtime?
We had, you know, expect to win. We go out there, we're going to execute, we're going to make it happen. My defense is going to stop them, offense is going to march down.
Austin, you all had some offensive struggles in the second half, a couple of fumbles and interception. How is the team able to overcome those struggles and get the win?
Yeah, like you said, yeah, we keep on shooting ourselves in the foot, but, you know, in those times, your splinter come together. You know, Coach Leach called us together a couple times on the sideline talking to us. Just, you know, we got belief and confidence. You know, next play, you know, whatever happens, you know, good or bad, short-term memory, move on to the next. We've executed before. We've done, you know, we're good offense. We're ready to roll. We can move the ball. We're confident in each other. Just keep on playing.
Obviously, you've been around Mississippi State for a while. I guess, what does it mean? What have you learned from, you know, what you gained from being bowl eligible and getting that extra month, I guess, of getting more games?
Yeah, you know, it's awesome. I mean, that's definitely the expectation standard right here. You know, we expect to have 6 at least and get there. But, you know, it's great. All these extra practices on 15 or whatever it is, especially all the young guys, really help them develop for that big month. Kind of springboards them into spring ball.
What was it like seeing Ra Thomas have the big game he did today for you guys?
It's awesome. I mean, he's such an explosive receiver. He's great with the ball in his hands. You know, I was expecting to have that. You know, call on him, and he rose. You know, the opportunity came to him, he made the most of it.
I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of the critique in the past year, I guess, that the kicking game has got. I guess, what did it mean to see Massimo go out there and get the game-tying one, there at the end of the fourth quarter?
That was awesome. I was so happy for him. I mean, especially you get iced a couple times. I mean, that's a tough environment. That's a tough thing to do. But he came out there cool, calm, collected, and needed it. That was one of the most important plays of the game, honestly. I'm just proud of him, man. It's awesome. Appreciate it.
Jaden, over here. Been out. I know it's been frustrating for you being out most of the season, but came out tonight, made some plays in this game, first game back. I mean, how did it feel to get back out there with your teammates, and how did you assess how you played?
It felt real good to me because I was able to put forth all my effort to the team, and it was just a great experience just to be back out there with my guys, and I just loved it really overall.
You had a bit of a scare there too. I know they flagged for the target, and you laid there for a while. I mean, after all you've been through and finally get a chance to come back, did you almost have a moment like, I can't believe this is happening, that I'm laid out here on the turf?
Nah, I knew I was gonna get up. I was just really, I don't know. A lot was going through my mind, but I just knew I was gonna get up and be able to still play.
Austin Williams mentioned, Cam, that the defense kind of saved us, is what he said. How important did you feel like it was to kind of keep Auburn in check when they got the ball in favorable field position a few times?
I think that just comes down to complementary football. That's our job. Once the special teams, if things don't go well, we got to stand our ground and kind of get them off the field and set our offense up to be successful.
Jaden, obviously you kind of touched on how tough it was for you to get hurt late in training camp, and what's kind of going through your mind rehabbing and having to come back, and how motivated did your teammates keep you go up and your coaches?
Everybody keeps everybody just make sure I'm up and just ready for anything that comes forward, and everybody just motivate me to just be out there and be like I was before. Don't worry about my injury and stuff like that. And I just feel like that's what I did today, and I gave it my all.
Two questions for you, Cam. The first one, how important was it to get Jaden back out there? I mean, be able to play alongside him.
Yeah.
Question number one.
I think it's real big, getting Big Baby back there adds a lot of depth to the D-line. You got a guy like Nathan Pickering coming in with the second group, who is very explosive and very experienced, so that just adds to our depth in the room.
Second question, it seemed that they hurt you guys on 3rd and long with some quarterback draws and things like that. Late in the ball game, how were you guys kind of able to neutralize that a little bit?
Yeah, they got a great athlete at quarterback. He's dynamic with his legs. Late in the ball game, I think Coach did a great job of play calling and trying to contain him into the box and make him throw the ball.
What was the difference in emotions from going in the locker room for halftime? You had that huge lead, and then halfway through the second half, what were kind of the differences there?
The real difference was on the focus. We had to refocus. A lot of guys thought that the game was won, so that just showed the resilience of this team, the fight. For us to lock in like that and come back and win, that's real big for us.
Jaden, you spoke briefly on it, but what's the rehab been like for you, and when were you able to get back on the field, start making contact, conditioning, all that stuff? I mean, how long have you been able to practice and all that?
I've been conditioning for a while, but getting back to contact and stuff, I started for bye week, and it just been going up from there.
I guess for you guys, you go against Jaquavis Marks a lot in practice. I guess what's it like, seeing a guy like that who's been here for 3 years get the game-winning touchdown at the end? Either of you.
Yeah, you can-
It was a real good feeling because going into overtime, you never know what to expect. So with us knowing what he can do, we just knew like he could pull something off like that. So
Yeah, like Big Baby said, I think we got the best running back duo in the country, and Woody and Dylan. So, we always trust those guys once they get the ball to do big things.
From y'all's vantage point there, what did you see on Tulu's kickoff return?
Once we saw a hole, I had my hands up. I already knew what he was gonna do.
Jaden, I guess I asked both of you guys this, but Coach Leach was talking about you guys, this team, its toughness, and tonight there was a whole lot of swings that could have went either way, but you guys kind of persevered. Just kind of speak to how tough you feel like this team is mentally and physically.
Mentally and physically, I feel like we're really tough and like we can overcome anything that steps in our way. And I feel like nobody like just put their head down, and we all just really fought through everything. And we can do that against anybody that come to our place and anybody that we go to. So
I think that the dogs on the team are some of the leaders, so that kind of trickles down to everybody, and that will make the team so tough.
When you guys are going into overtime like that, you guys win the toss and elect to go on defense first. I guess what's the mentality you guys have? I mean, you're starting already, in your own territory. What are you guys kind of just telling yourselves on defense of what the goal is in that set of downs there?
I kind of telling the group that the game in our hands. We get this stopped, and we pretty much seal the victory.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I just feel like when we get the ball back, it's just like the game is just in our hands. We know we're gonna make a stop, and we know we're gonna get a turnover. So we're reliable to do that, and we did it.
Yeah, you can take that one, I reckon. Appreciate you, brother.
I guess to follow up on what I just asked the two of them, going into overtime, defense goes out there first, gets the stop. I guess what's kind of your mentality when you guys go out there on offense? What's the goal there?
Well, I know if we got to stop, we're going to win the game just because of, how this team fights and things like that. So, I told some of the defensive guys, just hold them to 3 and we'll win the game.
Fourth and 2 play. I know you and Austin are roommates and ping pong players and that kind of stuff right there. So a lot of us that follow the team probably feel like you're going there. You throw an incompletion there, the game's over. So maybe speak about the comfortability you have in those situations to go to Austin.
Yeah, no, I mean, it kind of gave us a look where that receiver in the trip formation usually gets the ball, and yeah, it wasn't a great throw. They kind of passed. They showed man. They kind of passed it off, so I couldn't lead him. I tried to throw it on his back number a little bit, and it's just an inaccurate ball a little bit. But I guess that's what roommates are for. So I guess dishes on me or whatever this week.
Will, after the pass interference call, you got first and goal there. Was it a designed run from the sideline? Did you make that recognition and call? How did that play develop?
It was a pass play from the sideline, and I called run. Yeah.
We heard Coach Leach talk about toughness. We hear y'all talk about toughness all the time, and a lot of teams talk about toughness. But you guys, last year at Auburn, now this year against Auburn, a lot of emotional swings. You guys seem to persevere. But can you speak to that toughness and how this team kind of lives it more so than just talks about it?
Yeah, no kidding. It's something I told the guys in the locker room after the game, that it speaks a lot about the character of our individuals. It speaks a lot about the character of this university and, just the way we, just kind of carry ourselves from a day-to-day basis. Mississippi State, I think, says a lot about, people here and, the culture that we're building here. But, it's always good to come out with a win, So.
Will, from 24-3 to down 33-30 late, getting it done. I know it's hard because there's so many emotions and so many things happen, but how would you kind of categorize how you guys played as a team, and where do you kind of feel y'all were at leaving it?
Like the whole game, how we played. I mean, not great, man. You know, we scored. I mean, we scored, I guess 17 or so, right off the bat, and you know, then we had a special teams touchdown, and then we just we started turning over the ball. You know, I didn't hold on to the ball great, kind of getting hit from behind, but I still have to hold on to the ball. You know, the interception, and you know, I think guys just kind of stalled. You know, and I think it's kind of my job and some of the older guys' job that have been here for a little while to, you know, say like, hey, like we're good. You know, this is, you know, we're built for this. And, you know, the whole third quarter, it was just kind of like, and even in the fourth quarter, it was just kind of like, man, like, you know, everybody's just kind of like a deer in headlights, you know, just kind of standing there. You know, but I think it really clicked for us, you know, when Robbie scored the touchdown to go ahead. And it was kind of like, all right, like this is for real, you know, like we can't just go out there and waste a minute off the clock and punt and then hope it's all right. Like we've got to do something. So I think it speaks a lot about the character of individuals, the coaches, and you know, obviously the players that are out there playing. That, you know, when it's on the line, we can go get one.
What was Auburn doing specifically defensively that made it so difficult to try to get the run game going tonight?
What were they doing? I think their front's amazing. You know, I'd put Derek Hall up there with Will Anderson, and I can't pronounce his last name, but the end from LSU 18. But I think those three guys are probably the best ends in the league. You know, I think they do a really good job. I know Papu in the middle, Owen Papu or whatever. He does a really good job. And you know, they have good players, man. You know, those players that recruited there were probably recruited by a different staff, and you know, they fly around. You know, it's the SEC West. You know, I mean that team was a player or two away from winning the Iron Bowl last year. So, you know, you got to give credit to them. But I think we have to do a better job running the ball, like you said, when it's a 5, maybe 5.5, 6-man box, and you know, we can get 4 or 5 yards on first down. We have to do it, and you know, part of that's on me.
You guys talked a lot last year of, you know, what you learned from the team and that comeback against Louisiana Tech, the comeback against Auburn. What do you feel like you learned, you know, from this team and being on the other side of that comeback nearly?
Man. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you learn a lot about each other, a lot about yourself week to week. But I mean, this win was kind of like those in a way. But I mean, I think that this win's different, and just like every game's different, you know, I think this win's different. You know, I think this win is different because we started fast. You know, I think the Louisiana Tech game, we were kind of just like this way throughout the whole game. In the Auburn game, we were losing the whole game. So we started fast, and we had to go get one, man. You know, I keep saying it, but, you know, we had to put a drive together. We had to get a stop in overtime. And like I said, I think it speaks a lot about the players and a lot about the coaches that we have here that, you know, when it's time to make a play and it's the fourth quarter and it's overtime, it's time to make the play, we're going to make a play.